¿Qué rollo, Franquito? Aquí está el reading de la lectura esta y pues ya, pues hay que empezar, ¿no? Kate looked around the room at the other people, 10 men and 10 women are around the same age. Thanks for you coming today and offering your time to help with our research, Limaran. The medicine we're testing is the final stage of testing. Previous human trials have shown us that Limaran is completely safe. Kate stopped paying attention. She'd read the information the medical research company had sent her. So she went that Limaran had already been approved for sale and that they were not testing to see if there were side effects. She didn't know any of all the other people's in the group. She wished that none of them had jobs, either of or they would be earning money by testing medicine, but otherwise it was impossible to know if she had anything in common with any of them. She hoped so your 4 days in the research center would feel like a very long time. As side effects, we know that some people experience stronger emotions and a feelings of general happiness. They are hit research said will be interview each of you and doing tests during the day and night. So if you can't, I'll think the forms we can't start. Kate signed her form without reading the information. Hopefully, this was going to be a very easy way to make money. I hope the food's better than last time, said the guy sitting next to her as he gave in his information. Kate smiled. I'm Michael. Kate, she said, have you been here before? I do these trials as often as they let me. He laughed. It's such an easy way to make money. She smiled back. Here was someone she had some things in common with. A few hours later, Kate was eating dinner. She had taken her second limerence table before dinner. She was feeling really relaxed. Maybe it was the vitamins, or maybe it was just because she had so much free time and there was nothing she needs to do there with books or to read films, to watch and even board games and puzzles. At home, she had to send out job applications or she had to go to stressful jobs interviews. After more than 20 applications, she still didn't have a job. She looked up at saw Michael smiling at her. Do you want to play a board game? He asked. His eyes were really dark brown. Kate thought she hadn't noticed that early. She felt her cheeks go red. Sure, she replied, but I like to win. She warned. Perfect, he said, me too. Was it her imagination or did his cheeks look a bit pink too? For the next 2 days, Kate and Michael spent hours and hours playing games, chatting, and watching films. I feel as if I know of you for months, not days, she said. She already when he lived in Nervi that he was a student studying for his PhD, and that he had samples and checks when he smiled, an acute way of putting a pen behind his ear when he was reading. She wasn't sure, but she thought he was trying to sit next to her for meals and spend time with her whenever he couldn't, or maybe she was the one who was always looking for him. So, do you think you're feeling and side effects? He asked her on one everything. They were sitting on the sofa watching a film. Michael's knee was almost touching her leg, and if his hands moved just a little, it would be touching hers. Her heart beat faster, and all she could think about was being near enough for his skin to touch hers. Her face was red again. She couldn't eat. And what? She asked, trying to concentrate on their conversation instead. The side effects of limerine that they told us about at the presentation, we said moving his hands away. Her skin immediately felt cold, as if his hands had been making the air between them warm. Oh, I wasn't really listening, she said. We still get paid anyway, don't we? And then he did. He moved his hands so that covered hers. Nice feeling traveled all the way through her fingers and across her skin. She turned her hand over and held his hand. He smiled and moved his face toward hers. When everyone come and get their next limerine place, called a nurse, Michael dropped her hand and followed the rest of the group to the nurse room. Kate couldn't remember ever feeling so happy. Thanks you everyone for taking part. You are now free to go to head research site the next morning. As the trial ends, that any side effects will disappear over the next few days. If you have felt any stronger feelings and happiness, those feelings will decrease. Fortunately, we don't expect anymore to become depressed. However, we will keep in touch with all of you in the next few days to make sure everything is fine. We can't have a first date now, Michael said to Kate breakfast. Over breakfast, they talked and talked. Kate, he knew she was in love. It was stupid, but it was true. Michael said it's first. I can't believe I met you. I've never felt like this about anyone before. This don't does feel amazing, Kate said, but she had been worried about something since the beginning of the trial. She hadn't wanted to think about it, but now she had to ask him a serious question. You don't think what? What if it's the limerine making you feel like this? What was it he said about strong feelings? There's only one way to find out. He said, if you don't want to be my girlfriend anymore after a few days, well, no, it was just the limerine. She smiled at the girlfriend, girlfriend. Maybe your side effects will go away first. Maybe he laughed, but I don't think so. This feels real to me. Me too, she said. A few months later, Kate was thinking about the beginning of their relationship. She had to admit nothing could ever be as perfect as those first together. Real life had to start again. She got a job a few days. After the trial ended, Michael went back to the library and his books and research projects. She didn't have to worry about money anymore, but they could no longer spend all day, every day together. They were no longer at that exciting stage of falling in love. But they saw each other when they could and they meet each other parents. Everyone expects them to get married. When he finally asked her to marry him, she felt that old examined again. In 3 years later, I really don't have time for this. Kate shouted she hated doing the weekly shopping. Why could he do it? Fine, I'll go, then she said, closing the door hard so that it made a loud noise. Kate felt as if these kinds of arguments were happening more often. As she walked around the supermarket, she talked about how they'd before when they were in love. Can it ever feel like that again? She wondered. Walking into the health section, she recognized a word on a box medicine. Limerence, the vitamin's name, reminded her of a special time. A time when she was really crazy about Michael. She picks up a box and put in her basket. When she go home, Michael was already in bed, so she ate dinner alone, taking her limerine with a big glass of water. The next morning she woke up early, usual but instead of jumping straight in the shower. She joined Michael downstairs to breakfast. Good morning, she said to her surprise. She suddenly wanted to kiss him on the cheek, so she didn't and sat down next time him at the table. He was eating from a big pile of books, looking cute with a pen behind his. What are you doing? I'm applying for money for my next research project, she said. Oh, good luck. What is the project about? After breakfast, she talked how nice it had been to see him talking about sometimes he cared about she'd forgotten how cute his diplomats were when he smiled. She thought of maybe she hadn't seen him smile much recently. Anyway, she decided to have breakfast with him every day, since it had been such a lovely start to the day. It calls her to make a bit more effort, called it. 2 years later, the baby had stopped crying for 2 hours, but now her little face, peaceful as she slept, Kate felt annoyed. Her was Michael. She was downstairs and found him filling bowls with milk for the baby. Well done, Michael said. That didn't sound easy. No, she said angrily. It isn't. You are done an amazing job, he said. Okay, so I've washed all the clothes, made your lunch for later, and I'm going to home her early this afternoon so that you can't have some time yourself. Kate managed to smile and say thank you. He already was being very sweet, and she was too tired to feel grateful or to be nice back. As soon as he had left for work, she picked up the box of limerine. By the time he can come, Kate felt able to smile back when he smiled at her. 1 year later, Kate was putting clothes away while the baby slept. She picked up one of Michael's favorite jumpers and held the stuffed material to next to her chest. She missed him and he had only been out an hour putting it back. She noticed it sometimes hard under to the rest of the jumpers in the drawer. It was boxes and boxes of limerick. They weren't hurt. She was shocked to see these boxes. She took limerick every day. It was true, but Michael, she talked of limerick as an easy way to those feelings she'd always had for Michael, and it was working every day. She felt madly in love with her wonderful husband. Everyone said marriage was hard work, but she just didn't have time or energy for the job of marriage as well as her part-time job and young baby. When she took limerence, she made more effort to do small things that made their life together enjoyable. If he didn't sometimes nice for her, she said thank you, but most of all she actually felt grateful if he wore a new shirt or his hair looking good. She told him he was handsome. He asked him about his day and remembered things that are important to him. She seen nothing wrong with doing this. You need now that now she when why he had always been so good and doing those same things for her. It was all fake. Insisted of smiling at Michael when he got home. She was angry clearly to Limerane only had a limited ability. What are these? She asked. She pointed to the limerine packets she'd taken from a drawer put on the kitchen table. Michael moved closer and tried to read the small writing on the boxes. The vitamins aren't they? Don't ask as if you be got no idea why I'm asking, said Kate, every more angry. The boxes, she said, picking when the packets of our relationship. Oh, he said, it's limerine. Yes, it's limerine, she said, I know what they are. He looked confused, so why are you asking me what they are? I remember the name now you be said from the place we meet right, but I've not taken after 4 years. What? I don't know. It's better to get vitamins from fruit and vegetables, isn't he said. Research company sent would use boxes and boxes of 10 years ago. I put them away somewhere and forgot to throw them away. We eat a healthy enjoy. Did suture no need take vitamins? What about she felt her voice getting louder and louder, but also sometimes made her feel less sure about the words she planned to say. Her ideas sounded stupid. What about it feeling in the love part? The side effects, you are always so wonderful, the perfect husband, and now I know why. Thanks. He laughed. It's I know they told you there were some side effects, but we were just joking when we said we feel in love because of the medicine. Weren't we also a adept, throwing the box over in his hands? They must have changed the ingredients sometimes because it doesn't say anything on the box about side effects. See, he held it out here to look. Maybe they changed the recipe after we did that trial. Who knows? He gave her a big hug. This perfect husband is natural, don't worry. We went upstairs to kiss the baby, and she heard him in the kitchen as he started to make dinner. He looked careful at the boxes, and it was true. There was nothing on the box about side effects, or even on the information inside. They were just vitamin after all. Limerence wasn't an easy way to love, and it never had been. Nicola Prentice. Yeah.